I think I'll answer it in three ways. Now, the first thing is about the social pacific, especially on the question as to why that Hassan Nur sneaked its way somehow to that list. Now, the words of Franklin Roosevelt, he once said that in politics, nothing happens by coincidence. Everything is highly calculated, everything is highly planned, and at the right timing. I think the thinking around the bringing of Hassan Nur to the commission itself is because I think those who are making the decision, and you also need to know that those who make the decisions are not those who particularly sit on the panel itself, because this is a political process. The big boys in the political space are the ones who call the shots. I think the thinking around it was to have an institutional diversity. And if you look at even the pattern in which these people are selected, you see that they tried to have a commission member from each region. You see there's Anne Jeritu from Nyandarua representing the Mount Kenya region. There's somebody, Francis Odwol from Kisumu, Social Pacific representing Nyanza. There's Mary Ken somebody from Wasingishu. So I think the thinking around it is that we should have a commission member representing each from each region.
Shouldn't that have been the first thought by the commission, that regional balance, even in the initial shortlisting, should have included that?
But you see, as I told you, in politics, nothing happens by coincidence. The people who make the ultimate decision is not the people who sit in the panel. The people who sit in the panel, what they do is just to shortlist people who are meritorious enough to be interviewed. The people who make the final shots are the ones who are involved in the political class. Secondly, I think there is something I do disagree with my good friend Ken Babu about the thought about having young people. There's this euphoria about why were not young people not brought to be selected as to be nominees. The question that we should ask ourselves, the logical thing that we should ask ourselves, does having a young person really a conversion or a true demonstration that will have a free and fair election? Does merely having an IBC chairperson who is young a demonstration of us having a much free and fair election? And in my own thoughts, even if you look in terms of age dynamics, it will be much safer actually to have somebody who is more experienced. And in recent times, even statistics is showing that young people are actually more gullible towards corruption and in comparison to people who are much more experienced and have been in the game for a while. So I think the ultimate thing is this: controlling the social perceivement around the election process, the election people who will sit in the commission was the top thing for them. Because imagine a scenario where all the commission members were coming from Rift Valley. What will be the public clout around it that William Samoei Ruto is planning to steal election? And then let me say this. There is the people who decide who wins an election is not really even the IBC chairman or whoever. It's the Kenyan people. Okay, there must be a bare minimum level of popularity that you must have to stand an election. Even if you put Ken Babu Ken Babu was to decide who is the IBC chairman today, and he doesn't have votes, no matter how much you try and steal, no matter what you try and do, you'll not win the election.
Yeah, that is a perception that we have on the papers.
Yes.
That